Hello everyone, it is the 27th of June, and what we have here is something very, very special and something I think every orchid grower should have. This is Angraecum Lemforde White Beauty. It is a primary hybrid between Sesquipedale and Magdalene. It's temperature tolerant because Magdalene is a cooler grower and Sesquipedale is a warmer grower, and so this can kind of take a range of temperatures, and like Magdalene won't bloom if it's kept too warm, apparently. It's also, the Magdalene parent also brings the size down. Every individual is going to be different because they can get any combination of genes, but I have a couple of these, and they're both quite a bit smaller than Sesquipedale generally is. But the best thing about this, okay, well, there's many good things about this, but it's pretty easy to grow. I got this last year and it's done just fine. The flowers are so thick, they feel like plastic. It's amazing how thick they are. And they come out of here, and I think I had another bud, but it aborted. That right there, I think, was going to be another bud. I do not think that is a bract. Oh yeah, that definitely was a bud. Aborted. I don't think it got watered when I was on vacation. I mean, I think it got too dry when I was on a little vacation. Oh, what I wanted to talk about was it is potted in. I just repotted this like last month, and it was in a regular bark, like Orchiata type bark with perlite and charcoal, and it was really, like, the roots were really compacted. I was able to work out some of the mix. And I wanted to say, when you guys repot these, it's important to do it only when the roots just start beginning to grow, because they grow slowly. And I had this one root on top that was maybe about an inch, and I did do a bit of damage to some of the other root tips that were in the pot, because from the branch roots. But even that one right there, I don't know what happened to it. It got nibbled or something, and it stopped growing. And then it grew a new tip eventually, and it also grew a little branch. But these roots do grow really slowly, and they are really brittle and thick, and I think that's why they say Angraecums resent repotting. So I wanted to put it in something that was going to be easy to repot. So I used kind of chunky, not coconut husk chunks, but kind of chunky coconut coir and charcoal and perlite. And it's going to town in there. Like, there's a root coming out right there, and there's a bunch of others just below the surface. And I potted it to this level because that was the original level, and I didn't want to bury the tops of these roots up here that were already exposed because I didn't want to rot those off. So I left it potted a little high, or not high, but with the level of the mix kind of low, because I didn't want to take any chances, because the tops of those roots is what makes up the whole root system underneath, and if I rotted those accidentally, then I'd lose the whole root system. So oh, the best thing about this though is the fragrance. The fragrance is incredible, and it is so powerful. It will perfume my whole bedroom at night, and I've got a big bedroom, and it smells, I don't know, if you like lilies and gardenias and jasmine and that kind of thing, you would like the fragrance of this. It's not quite exactly like any of those, but it is really wonderful. And it even, I don't know if Sesquipedale smells at all during the day, but this does a little bit. And the nectary is, on this one, maybe 9 inches. Some of them can get to like 14, 12 inches. And that's because a moth with a tongue that long will pollinate this. And it needs a tongue that long to reach the nectar down in the bottom of the spur. So Darwin actually predicted that moth would exist. Everybody thought he was crazy, but If you want to read more about that, just Google Darwin's orchid. Hopefully my sesquipedale that I have will bloom pretty soon. This is a summer, fall bloomer. I don't know, it bloomed later last year. I picked it up at the orchid show in the fall. And what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, sesquipedale supposedly blooms in the winter. So, and I don't know when Magdalene blooms, but yeah, it was nice. Like this started putting out a bud right after I repotted it. I didn't expect it to. I thought I'd kind of damaged the root system a little bit. They say that if you damage the root system enough when you repot them, they won't bloom for a couple of years. But I think, like, I didn't damage it too bad. I only kind of really maybe cracked 1 or 2 roots and a couple of little root tips. But then it just started growing all kinds of roots in there. Oh yeah, one thing about coconut, you do want to rinse it a lot because it holds, it doesn't hold, well, it holds salts too, but the nature of coconut is such that it is really high in potassium and salts, and so you want to soak it, squeeze it out, soak it, squeeze it out. If you've got a TDS meter, you want to use that to measure the level of TDS, but basically if you don't, the rinse water is going to be dark brown, like if you soak it and let it soak overnight and then squeeze it out, that water will be dark brown. So just keep doing it until it's a really light brown, almost clear, and then you should be good. I think that's why people have problems with coconut, because of the high initial salt content. Some people also say you should put like calcium and magnesium back in, but honestly, like, I've used coconut for my Phalaenopsis for years and years, and they do great in it, and so I thought I'd try it in this. Oh yeah, and I did also put a lot of peanuts in the bottom, maybe you can kind of see, and I cut extra slits because I wanted this to be able to dry out rapidly and have a nice open airy mix, and I did use a lot of perlite in there too. So I think that's everything I wanted to say. I think everybody should have one of these though. They take Cattleya light, or I don't know, mine can take higher than that, but they seem to do, I think they do pretty well in a range of lighting conditions. So thanks for watching.